Hey, welcome to the podcast.
Hi.
I'm Kelly and you are Fran.
I am. Yes, I am.
Fortunately for me, you are Fran and not somebody else. So, Fran, you are a PT, fitness expert, I would say. I don't mean to flatter you, but maybe I do a bit.
Yeah.
So, why don't we start off the podcast with talking a little bit about your fitness journey up to now?
Okay. So my reasoning for most of the reason for getting into fitness in the first place was due to a lot of mental health things, as well as the physical side of life, as it were. I started training when I was about 16 or 17, and I pretty much haven't left a gym since, which is really lame.
I think it's awesome.
But yeah, I mean, it makes me feel more settled, it makes me feel stronger, it makes me feel confident. So many things in life have changed because of the fact that I took that little leap, as it were, to go into a gym, and then was able to go in on my own and go into the man section and do all this kind of stuff and learn strength. Yes, I did.
It's called it the man section.
The man section.
I love it.
The man section.
Where the muscle Marys hang out.
It's just real hard. There's so much sweat and so much grunting, and I don't know what to do.
That place can be a den for sexism. Can be a sexist
Can be.
Can be. Oh, I should have had that on my list of questions. What do you do about that? That's relevant. Okay, sorry, I segued in.
It's totally fine. I love a segue. A tangent, if you will.
We do tangent. We do tangent indeed. So you've been training for a long time, and then at some point you've made a decision to become a personal trainer and take it into a career.
Yeah.
What inspired that?
A lot of people asking why I hadn't done it yet. Over about 6 or 7 years. So I've been training for about 11, 12 years or something. I love helping people in everything from the confidence aspect to, and that can be just going into a gym, but it can also be, or even just outside training or whatever, going to a class, going to swimming, going to whatever on their own. But knowing that they're doing it properly, knowing they're doing it correctly, knowing they're not going to hurt themselves, and that actually it's the right thing to do, not just exercise for the sake of exercise, or because it's January, or because they feel like they should, but they don't know why. Things like that. Yeah. And I've had a lot of friends that have gone through that transition, and just people in general that I love to talk about. I love to talk about it because I'm passionate about it, and I think it's important. Yeah. But yeah, so it was a long time of people just going, why aren't you doing this for your job? You don't want to be doing admin work. Yeah. I can do it, I'm good at it, but
it's your calling.
Yeah. I like to teach and I like to help, and then I'm like, oh wait, why don't I do a thing that I really love, and then I can teach and help doing that thing.
Yeah. We're all responding to a health calling these days.
Yeah. I mean, it's so
this is what's going on right now. Actually, this leads us nicely into my first sort of real question, which is like, what kind of advice could you give to somebody who wanted to start a fitness journey? Because, it can be very intimidating for a number of reasons. I mean, personally, I've always been quite fit. I've always done physical stuff. And then I took a year out to move back to London and, change jobs and so on. And I put it down, and I put it down for too long. And that's when I called you for help, because I was like, I can't get back in the gym. I just can't get it. It's almost like those feelings of going before and feeling really good about going. I'd go and I'd just feel bad about not having been for so long. It became like a negative thing as well. So that's post fitness journey. But there are people out there that have never even gone it and began it. Yeah. So they're stacked with sort of different anxieties or weird expectations about what you'd find there, and ideas of how health is portrayed online and on Instagram. I think it can be quite excluding. Yeah. And it like you say, it can be really overwhelming more than anything. Especially if you've never stepped foot in a gym. You like you say, you have these pre sort of envisionments of what it's going to be like, and you're going to go in, everyone's going to be buff and covered in oil and blah blah, blah and all this kind of stuff. And that I hear from a lot of people a lot of the time that they
don't feel like they can go into a gym until they're fit enough to go into a gym.
Yeah, for sure.
Which is crazy.
Yeah.
I completely understand where that comes from, but people are in the gym because they want to make that change.
Yeah.
People are in the gym because it's either a new thing, it's maintenance, or they are just, you know, that is their life kind of thing, you know, or they work there.
Yeah.
But it's the first step to exercise, whether that's in the gym or outdoors or, you know, wherever. Like I say, like, you don't just have to do exercise in a gym. That's part of what needs to be made clear.
Yeah.
Is having support. So either sometimes people don't want to tell other people that they feel nervous about it because they feel like they're going to get judged.
Yeah, it's embarrassing.
Right? Yeah, which they won't be ultimately, because again, people want to help other people. People want to say, okay, yeah, cool, this is great. Like, it's, for me, someone comes up to me and they say, I have no idea what I'm doing, I need help. The first thing in my head is, awesome. Yeah, they've made this decision to help themselves.
Yeah.
You know, and it's off their own back or whatever, but they are in the right headspace to go for it. Yeah. But then they just need that support.
That little helping hand, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. And that's interesting because I think a lot of people wouldn't expect that to be the reaction. You know, that when somebody, I think in life, you often second guess what a reaction's going to be, don't you? And you think like, oh, I'm going to go to this really fit person and say like, I want to get fit. And they're going to go, oh yeah, okay then. Really? Good for you. Desk job. You know.
La 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 la.
Yeah. You know, that's how you feel.
Yeah.
So it's got to be refreshing to know that, like, if you contact a personal trainer or you reach out to somebody in the gym, that they're going to be happy to help you and pleased for you that you're making those steps, you know. I think owning your fitness is so important, and I think it's something that seems so out of reach a lot in our world at the minute, you know.
I do think without bringing it onto that, but the whole social media thing is just a nightmare.
It's damaging.
It's a nightmare. Yeah. Because every single person will look at that and they will, like, for me, my whole feed is sports, food, fitness, you know. Yeah. Like a lot of it is for me to go, oh yeah, motivation or new exercises or blah, 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 you know. But that's the kind of thing that keeps me going, and I like looking at it. Yeah. But in the same breath, I look at it as if it's, you go to a gallery, you go to something like that. It is just pictures. Yeah. This is not me trying to compare myself as much as, don't get me wrong, like even I with my Instagram at the moment, like I've had to put more on it. Yeah. Because if this is your job, you have to portray what you do. Yeah, you have to show. Yeah. As much as it's dull, and I'm not used to it because I've never sort of been that person to be like, oh, I'm going to set up a camera and I'm just going to, you know, just reps for the gram, yeah. But now I have to, and I'm just like, I know I have to do it because people will feed back and they'll go, oh, can we learn to do Olympic lifting? Can we learn to do this? Can we learn to do that? Yeah. Or just a fun circuit or something easy. Again, if you're new, you'll want to come in and just be like, I had fun working out. Yeah. It was great. And not leave feeling like dread or coming in feeling dread. Yeah. But I think because people have that preconception that you have to go in and be fit and all that kind of stuff first, it puts a lot of people off. Yeah, it really does. I mean, even like for me, having trained with you as well, even now on my Instagram, it will be like, oh, you like #fitness. Look at this lady in a bikini. Doesn't she look great with a resistance band? And I'm like, oh, good God, I can't leave the house today, let alone leave the house to go to the gym. But you do have your resistance bands, I do have and you can do it at home. And I also have a bikini. Yes, you do. I'm like, hi, Tom. You also have a body that works to put in it. Look, I did the thing. Oh, look at basically the same. Yeah, but no, I mean, it does put you off, and like somewhere in trying to follow things that you're interested in and find inspiration and find pages like yours where it's useful and inspiring, you're finding these things that are so aspirational they're off-putting. And there is definitely a bit of like cliquey vibe in that online tribe. There's a bit, you know, bit of that sort of, I think that's across the board in social though. People tribe up when they get really
militant about what it means to be in that tribe, and they're like, no, you can't have a go at fitness, it must be your life.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it is the whole thing. It's 0 to fucking 100.
Yeah, like, 100. Yeah.
But like you say, it's like how so many people that just again the social media thing. But anyway, so many people on social media that are doing their booty band workouts and shit. Fine, totally fine, right?
Yeah.
You know, I love a band. Has it got its time and a place? And, yes, it does. Does it hurt? Booty. Yes, it does. But when people are constantly just there, that's all they're seeing, and I see a lot of it, and you know, that's not my immediate go-to. It's something that's really useful to include in your workouts, but it wouldn't be I wouldn't just do a band workout. That's just me, you know. But they're not qualified trainers, and in the nicest way, I completely understand that. Again, it's sort of making it, as much as it's making things all inclusive, it does push people away.
Fran, I have to tell you, put your phone on silent, man.
As if I'd have that noise for my notifications. What else?
Is it me?
Babes.
God, is it me? You know what, right? This is funny.
That's why I thought you were joking. I was like, I don't put it on vibrate, and I put it on silent before. So thank you very much.
I never have it on. I never have it on sound, ever. And I turned it on sound in case you rang me, in case you couldn't find the house. And I'm like, so the first time it went off, I was like, Fran's phone's on. Oh, no.
Yeah, no, it's yours, Bev.
Oh, cool. I've got messages.
Oh, cool.
Oh, great. Oh, no. The neighbours have messaged me. That's fun. Cool.
To say your chat is dull.
Yeah, and they're like,
/ I want to join fitness.
Are you doing a podcast? Sorry about that. Right, where were we? Let me cycle back.
So
yes, ashamed. Shame
on you. Shame on you.
Oh no.
Yeah, as much as you'll see all these people doing these band workouts and all that kind of stuff, which again, totally fine. For the most part, they are not qualified trainers, and people don't even think about that. To be fair, I probably wouldn't have thought about that.
Yeah,
but you just think, oh wait a minute, are they qualified to be giving this information?
Yeah, you don't question it.
But do they? Some of them, like some people, they want to learn, they want to be educated, and it doesn't matter if you've got a qualification or not, because they're like, do you know what, I find anatomy really interesting, and the science behind it, and how muscles work, and how recovery works, and those people, great. But if it's just a person being like, I'm gonna sit in my bikini and I'm gonna do some clams,
babe, and I'm like, I'm so hot right now. I'm so hot right now. Just let me put this band on.
It just makes me want to cry a little bit. Just a little bit. But that can be really detrimental to people, because they think the only way you can shape your figure in X, Y, and Z way is by doing this.
Yeah.
Without even exploring other avenues. Like, you know.
You say, well, those people have got that body, and I want that body, and that's what they're doing.
Yeah.
But you don't see that they've done 4 hours in the gym doing other things with a trainer or
exactly.
whatever their food is. You know, you're just kind of seeing this little momentary snapshot that gives you this idea, and it's, you know.
And sometimes it'll even be people that don't work out at all. Yeah. They're just naturally, that is what just their body is like.
Lean, toned.
And that's, you know, and for whatever reason. Lucky. But that doesn't necessarily mean they're healthy inside. That's the thing.
That's true.
You don't know what they're eating or what they're not eating.
They could be drug skinny, you don't know.
You know, this is the thing. You don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
Unless you're physically speaking to someone and you're sort of keeping an eye on what you're eating, you know if you're healthy or not. Yeah. You don't know if those people are healthy.
Yeah, that's true. You know, you're not looking inside. And also, you know, what's healthy for one person and what's healthy for another is very different.
So different.
I think there's like one idea for everyone in fitness is so damaging, you know, like what body type is appropriate. It's just like everyone's so wildly different, you know, and fitness looks different on different people, you know. I mean, like the strongmen are an example. They all look like they spend all day down the pub. I mean, they obviously don't, because like look at them lift, but
also sometimes they do.
They got dad bods.
But you know, that's okay. Yeah, balance.
I don't mind a dad bod. Yeah.
Kind of. There's dad bod, and then there's like
the mountain.
Oh, so great though.
That mountain dude. I saw.
Yeah, but he can lift, bro.
Yeah, and also, have you seen his partner, his wife?
I think so. Yeah.
She's like 5'3".
Yeah.
I was just sat looking at the two of them together,
ready to go. Okay.
My God.
They're there's something quite, you're like, yeah, I can get on that, that's fine, totally fine.
Nice.
But yes, there are. But bear in mind, all these people that compete, whether or not you're doing like a bikini competition, muscle bodybuilding, that kind of thing, or if you're doing something like strongman, you have got health professionals around you.
Yeah.
You've got people that you are relaying into daily, weekly, monthly as you're going along this journey, and they're keeping an eye out. They're keeping an eye out what's happening inside of you. And if they're eating so-and-so amount of calories, they're doing it for this sport or, whatever it is that they're doing, that they're comp prep or whatever.
Yeah.
And again, depending on who you are, what you're doing it for, all that kind of stuff, that's where the diet changes. That's where the training changes.
Yeah, like the goal
exactly.
informs the decisions.
Exactly.
Sure.
And like I was speaking to someone a couple of days ago, and I was sort of saying, look, the people that you're seeing that do like prep, bodybuilding and all that kind of thing, competitions, they're not like that all year round. They're not. It's not sustainable. Some people are, but they're crazy. But they also have a lot of people doing their food and doing all that kind of stuff and keeping an eye on them. But it's mentally draining. It's physically draining. I have a few friends that have done comps, and they put in so much hard work. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And they're training 2-3 times a day, and they are so rigid on what they're eating or what they're drinking, and like it's all consuming.
Everything's measured. Yeah.
But again, people just see
the
those
competition
images on the internet, and then they're just like, oh my god, this person looks like this, and it's like, you should see them at Christmas. Trust me, I've seen a lot of cheese being consumed by these people.
Time off at Christmas for good behaviour.
Yeah, but
it's the same with actors. When they shred for a movie or whatever, they get like toned for a film. It's it's like a program designed by people to get them to that goal at that time, just not at another time, not before or after. They got to get it on ready for the day, like competition day, properly designed for that moment, and it's not like you said, it's not sustainable, it's not and it's not cheap,
and it's definitely not cheap, but it's
like,
also individual.
And we get served these images like Men's Health or Women's Health or whatever, these people, and they're ready for that shoot. They're done for that shoot. And they've done weights just before the shoot to make sure they get extra pumped, and then they're covered in oil, and then this is happening, then the lighting, and then and it's like pull the shadows up in post to give them a bit more definition, and so on and so on. And it's just unfair, man. It's unfair, and I think really we're sort of facing a bit of an epidemic of not owning our fitness. I think that's a big problem. I think we've got, with technology and desk jobs and more things becoming desk jobs that would have been physical jobs because things are getting automated and otherwise on, versus we can't own our fitness because we're served these really off-putting, and alienating ideas and images. I think people are suffering that, mentally and physically. Certainly. I mean, if I think about that year that I took off the gym and what that did to me, and I've been training and been physical before, since my teens, like I went through drama school, and that's physical, so acting training, like ballet and movement and mask and balance stuff, and then I, as a circus performer and a dancer, go-go dancing and, stilt walking or whatever, that's all physical, and I did a bit of aerial as well for a time. So, I've always been physical. I've always loved yoga. I've always loved stretching, been flexible. And thinking about that year off and what that did to me physically and mentally. And, I think about the hill that I had to climb, and I knew I couldn't do it on my own. And I'm glad I knew you, because I wouldn't have called another trainer. This was the thing for me, is I wouldn't have just gone down to my gym and had a look at the board and picked it. I wouldn't have done it. Because for the fear of judgment, and somebody trying to make me do a load of stuff I didn't want to do. Taking away my ownership. And I'm like, I know enough about how these machines work to not be served. This is what you're doing, this is how it's done. I'm like, whoa, I'm not into that, know. And I think there's a lot of people think that that's what they're going to get when they get a trainer. Someone who's going to bully them, judge them, make them do stuff they don't want to do in a not fun way. It was only because I knew you, through life, that I was like, Fran could probably help me. I would trust you, and I made a call on that. But I can't imagine what it's like if you don't know anybody and you've never had a fitness journey, to just turn around and be like, oh, I'm going to ring someone. Like, it just seems like a real big barrier to success, you know?
And I think I mean, that's the thing. At that point, you need to be thinking to yourself, okay, so many things exist in the way of health and fitness, especially living in London. There are so many options. Like you say, you can go and do trapeze, you can go and do indoor bouldering, you can go swimming, you can go biking, you can go to a class, and that can be in or out of a gym, that can be leisure, that can be boot camp. So many things are available. Some of them are free, some of them are not. Okay, obviously that's also a barrier for people, is the cost of stuff. Right?
Absolutely,
completely.
yes.
Again,
some
completely
things are
understand.
so, I mean, yoga is a good example because that's pricey.
Some places it's like 20 quid.
Yeah, and
I mean, you feel great after, don't get me wrong, but
for sure.
Also,
yeah, it's a lot of money. It's a lot of money.
But if you're with an instructor or a trainer or someone, even if it's a friend that just really knows their shit, like if you're with someone where you come out of whatever that experience is that you've picked, exercise class, whatever, right? If you come out of that and you feel better and you're like, okay, it might have been a bit sticky at the beginning, might not have felt great, might have felt a bit shit halfway through and kind of ebbed and flowed with your confidence even during the class or your session, but you leave thinking, do you know what, that was hard, but I would do that again. And I feel better within myself. And even after one session or one class, you can go, okay, well, I know that space now. That's where you start. You're like, okay, I know how this works.
Yeah.
I know the format.
You just got
to
to brave
the layout
it
of the gym.
the once.
Yeah.
It's the one brave.
And I know that's easier said than done.
Yeah.
Again, completely get that. But everyone has to start somewhere.
That's true, man. And that's a good point. You know, that you got to get over that hill.
Yeah.
But only the first time.
Yeah.
And then you've done it.
And then you're on the hill.
You can just keep going. You can go back next week, you know. And yeah, there's always resistance. There's always, oh, I'm tired, I've had a long day, or I feel like crap, or I don't want to see people, I don't feel like I can human today.
Yeah.
But, you know, lesser humps than the original first hump of like completely foreign territory, completely new territory.
And
you know.
My response for that bit would be plan.
Yeah.
Right? Have headphones, have your playlist ready, whatever makes you happy and whatever pumps you up.
Yeah.
Right? You'll have days when you're like, do you know what? I want to listen to music that's like the underdog is winning and
right.
Or other days you're like, oh, I'm going to listen to some, something festive.
Yeah, groovy soul.
Yeah, and you're like, it depends what you're doing. It depends what's kind of floating your boat that day.
Yeah.
But if you know it's going to lift you up, have those playlists ready.
Turn yourself onto it. Yeah.
Have your headphones ready. If you're going in on your own, create your bubble. No one cares.
Yeah.
No one cares if you speak to them or not. If you're a chatter, fine, totally fine. If you're not, again, create your space. So when you're going in, that's not something you're worrying about.
Set yourself up for success.
Yeah. Always.
That's a rule for life.
Always.
That's a constant for life.
Be realistic.
Yeah. I remember if I wanted to hit the gym before work, I'm not a morning person. Yeah. Oh God. I am.
They should not exist.
I am lizard brain. I am 100% lizard brain till about 10:30 in the morning, to the point of like sometimes my alarm will go off and I'll go no and like slam it because I'm just pure lizard brain. I'm just.
There'll be one in the afternoon. It's a nightmare.
I'm just like they're crazy in the morning. So if I. For some insane reason, if I wanted to go to the gym in the morning, like the night before, I'm like, this is a great idea for me.
Oh yeah. That weird enthusiasm you get where you're like, yeah.
You know what that is?
I'm so up for this.
That's the enthusiasm of you that doesn't have to fucking do it. Yeah. That's you that doesn't have to get up and
when you've already done everything of the day, you're comfy, you're in bed or you're on the sofa or whatever, you're like, yeah, I feel good. And you're like, do you know what I'm gonna do? And then it comes to the morning, you're like from the crypt. Yeah,
taking the lid off the coffin, just like, what was I thinking? And the worst one, you've decided to go with a morning person who's like, hey, up for the gym. Oh man.
When I'm like, there, that's me. Before, deathy. Once I'm there, hey.
The only way I could do it, 100%, the only way I could do it is I had to lay my clothes out for the gym, pack my day bag for work, because I'd go gym straight to work, so I'd have to pack my shower stuff, my work clothes, my day bag, all sorted out, my gym clothes, underwear and socks, everything, shoes just there, water bottle filled up, done, headphones charged, everything done. And then I kind of throw myself into the shower, roll into the clothes, roll out the door, and wake up on the way to the gym.
Yeah.
Walk along and just be like,
Yeah.
I'm doing that now.
Yeah, but then you're on your way.
Then you're on your way,
already there.
Set yourself
You're
up
out
for
there.
success. It's the only way. It's the only way, you know.
Completely. And I feel like there's been times when, so I do the same thing. For years, I've always done the same thing. I've always got my gym stuff in my bag. I've got a spare pair of trainers if I need it, for depending on what I'm doing for my training. Gym clothes, spares, all that stuff is always in my bag.
Yeah.
I mean, people call me Mary Poppins and I look like a crazy woman because they're like, why are you carrying this house on your back? I'm like, because I'm prepared.
Yeah.
But
I feel you.
so many times I've been like, oh, do you know what? I'll just go home quickly.
Yeah.
Oh, I've just forgotten this. Or, oh, I didn't put my stuff in because I know I'm finishing early for whatever reason or whatever. I'll go home. The minute I am sat down at home, it is not happening.
You're done.
Or it's not happening for like 6 hours. Suddenly it's midnight. They're like, why are you at the gym? And like the people at the gym, I'm like, I went to sleep and it was a bad idea. I had to go. You know.
Yeah.
So being prepared.
Sitting
and
down
stuff.
is like the worst.
Yeah,
After,
just don't.
Yeah.
No, especially after work.
The only chance I have is like my gym's on my route home, so I have to go via my gym to go home.
Yeah.
If I didn't, nah.
But if you had your stuff with you, you'd be like, just keep walking.
Oh, even then, I don't want
just watching your house looking pretty and cozy.
Cannot walk past home because I do that thing where I'm like, oh, I've just got to train at home. You know?
Which does not happen.
I've done it a couple of times.
Unless you get forced.
I tell you what, I've done it a couple of times because I knew I was going to have to tell you about it.
Yes, you are.
I've been like, Fran has said I can go home if I train at home. I better not disappoint Fran. I don't put my heart rate monitor on and just throw myself around the room for half an hour.
Yes, but you did.
Yeah, I did do it.
And it's accountability.
Yeah.
And even if you've got a bit of that at the back of your mind.
Accountability's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes a massive difference.
I think that would go on my list of things if you were starting a fitness journey.
Yeah.
Accountability is good. Even if it's not to a personal trainer, if you can just find
a person.
someone, you know.
Yeah, completely.
Like you're an alcoholic and you have a sponsor.
Yeah.
You know,
It's
just
basically
find
the
a
same
person.
thing.
Just find a person you have to fess to, you know.
Yeah. Just say I'm doing this.
Yeah.
As long as they're supportive. Yeah. It doesn't even have to be someone who's on the same level as you or whatever.
Or even on a fitness journey themselves or anything. Just someone who's gonna call you out on your BS, you know.
Yeah. As long as someone's gonna be there and not put you down.
Yeah.
And just say, look, at the end of it, like I've said to you before and like I've said to other people before, it doesn't matter if you go into a gym or if you do exercise for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. If you've done something rather than nothing, when you know it makes you feel better, you know it settles your mind, you know it clears out the cobwebs, I'm going to be happy for you.
It's a win. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's a good thing.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah.
If you're doing nothing and then you feel rubbish and then you are then guilt tripping yourself about feeling rubbish, about doing this and that's a whole spiral in itself, right?
That's a seductive
10,
spiral.
15 minutes that you've even gone for a walk, that is better than nothing.
I do it every time I go to gym. And I sit there at the end of my session and I sort of bargain with myself before I go. So I'm like, I'm going to go and I'll do 10 minutes at least. And then if I want to go, I'll just leave.
Yeah.
That's a bargain myself. And then I go and then I'm warmed up and I'm like, oh, I'm here now. So I'll do 10 minutes on this. And if I want to go, I'll leave. And that's how my whole session goes.
And then you're like an hour in, and you're like, I'm still doing it.
I'm an hour in, and then I'm like, oh, I've done an hour. I can congratulate myself with a lovely stretch now. And I stretch for half an hour. And then by the time I showered and gone, I've spent a good solid time. I've burnt 650 calories or something decent like that, you know. But yeah, it does come about with bargaining. I do have to, you know, lure myself in. Yeah. I don't just commit to a half hour happily. But then at the end of those sessions, I'm like, why am I such a dick about this? Every time I have to be like, oh, just do the 10 minutes. I'll get my clothes and I'll just go. And, you know, and it's like, why can't I just be like, yesterday I did this and I loved it and I felt great and I was super happy and I had an adrenaline rush. I was proud of myself. I felt capable, made my mental health feel good. My brain felt good. Yeah. Happy brain. Yeah. But the next day I'm like, oh,
it's like it never happened.
I want to go sit here and watch Netflix. In my PJs.
Because it is that thing where it's like, it's not necessarily instant gratification, but it very much plays a part, right? How much of our lives now, it's like, if you don't get a response straight away or within 5 minutes, you're like, the fuck, man.
Yeah, now.
You know, or you're like, oh, the internet's not working. It's like, I'm not going to wait longer than a minute. I'm going to break the whole thing because it's not working, or whatever, right?
Out the window.
So I think a lot of people, especially if you've taken time out, or if it's not your number one priority, which for a lot of people it isn't.
No.
It should be one of your top 3.
Yes.
Your health should be up there. Like, it should not be
100%.
left behind.
Yeah, your health should count to you. It should have value to you.
Yeah, completely.
Yeah.
But sometimes, because of that instant thing, you're like, but I don't feel good yet. And it's like, you're not even at the gym yet. I don't feel good yet. Yeah, but you only just got changed.
Yeah.
And, you know, and it's so sometimes you have to say, okay, bite-sized pieces.
Yeah.
Bite-sized pieces. It's like when you're learning anything, like you're educating yourself or something, you're studying, whatever, right? Yeah. You're doing work. If you, like, for example, you're at work, you're in the office, you go, all right, I've got to do this thing. It's basically the same thing. You're repeating the same job over and over again because you're trying to get a pile of work down.
Data entry kind of vibe,
Right? It's the same thing over and over again. What do? You go, okay, I'm going to do this for half an hour and an hour. I'm going to go get coffee or a cup of tea, have a little walk, come back, start again. Yeah. Same thing.
Chunk it up.
But because you know how good it is training and how much better you feel, you're like, but I should be able to do this and just get on with it. Right? So again, it's a mindset thing. Yeah. But again, I will say, you're doing it. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if your way of doing things is, I'm going to do 15 minutes of this, and then I'll either slow it down for a little bit, and then I'll try again, or I'll switch to something else for a bit. You're still doing it. You're still, they rack up. Those little building blocks rack up.
The goal is get it done. The goal is get you in there and get doing whatever doing is.
Exactly. And you should never beat yourself up for, again, it's that thing. Don't set yourself up for failure. Don't sit there and go, I've not done half an hour full, like in one complete thing. I did 2 15 minutes. I'm like, for me saying to you, but you did half an hour total, yeah? Yeah. And you're just looking at me going, yeah, but it was it. No. You did the work that you needed to do. It might not have been fluid or as fluid as you would have liked. Yeah. But you did it and you completed it.
And you still get the sticker.
Yeah. Damn straight. Yeah. Damn straight you get that sticker. Yeah. I will make you a medal, my friend.
I want that medal.
But this is the thing again, it's not setting yourself, it's just like you want to be, you good. You want to be
if anyone's listening, they're not going to know what just happened there. I just smeared my lipstick. That's all. And like,
but it is fine. Just to clarify, there are no clown moments happening.
Do I look like the Joker?
No, you look great. Okay. Fab, as always.
Yeah, cool. I'm just in quick drag today, so
that's totally fine. I love it. Your quick drag is still me spending about 4 hours attempting to do my makeup. So, yes.
That's circus skills hangover, you know, painting for the back row.
Oh wow, that is strong.
Gosh, sorry, I got distracted by my smear effort. So yeah, still get a gold award, still get a sticker. Put the time in. Yeah, absolutely.
And just don't. You should never put yourself down for doing a bit of something.
I think, like, you know, you said earlier about it doesn't have to be, it's not your number one goal, it's not your number one priority, but it should be one of your top few. I think there's something in that with owning your fitness. It's like, it's not your life, it's not your job, it's just something you need to have ownership over. So, you know, make it important because it's self-care, because it's good for you and it's good for your life. And then in that bracket, do what makes you happy within that. Yes. Do it in your chunks or in your half hour or, you know, like I know I can burn calories quicker if I run, but maybe I like a walk today. But I'm still getting movement in and I'm still doing something. And, you know, I guess there's something in balancing it for you, making it work for you, you know.
And like for me, and the things that I always say to everyone, it should be fun. It shouldn't be a chore, it shouldn't be a task, it shouldn't be something you're going, I'm just gonna go drag myself out, this is terrible.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So again, like you say, it's finding a way, but it's also finding the thing that you enjoy doing.
Finding the fun within it.
Yeah, exactly. So it can be short bursts of things. It can be playing around with medicine balls or skipping or boxing or all of those little things that you could be doing.
Zumba or soca fusion or whatever.
Right?
You know, like loads of Afro beats, loads of different dancing fun. You know, you'll find a class that has a sort of dance-based fitness that does a music you like.
That is for me. That's a massive thing.
Yeah.
The music part.
Yeah.
Like,
Get the
without
tunes
music,
right. Ain't happening. Get the tunes right. Yeah. I mean, I've had times where I've been trying to like drill cardio, and I've had to have the tunes on, and then I've had to have a game show on with subtitles. Incredible. So I'm like.
But you're in the zone. That is pure focus.
Then I'm locked in because I'm just like power, 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 and I'm like the Great Wall of China, power, power, power.
I was about to say catchphrase.
Give me a pee, Bob. You know,
oh, I'm
ready. whatever it is. You know, I like a game show.
Yeah,
like it's kind of interactive, but whatever gets my head into a zone where I'm just gonna let the body do the work, and the music's such a big part of that. Like it just because it carries your pace. Yeah, you know, it stops you kind of going, oh, this is tiring, and I don't want it. You know. Yes. Yeah.
And and it is something where you just, again, if you feel uplifted by what you're listening to or what you're watching, whichever. Yeah. I mean, you know, the watching thing, I'd stick to cardio if you're going to be watching things.
Absolutely.
Not when you're trying to lift weights or something along those lines. Safety. But like even something as little as that, as music, as you know, just enjoying what you're doing, it's not that hard.
Everything.
Like you have to just. A lot of people won't believe you when you say that, right? They're just like, nah, it's not fun. But I have had people give me feedback from sessions, and they're like, oh, that was way better than I thought it was going to be. Yeah. It's like, well, what did you think we were going to do? Just stand on a treadmill for an hour?
For an hour, you know,
like,
having a horrible time.
Yeah, just staring at yourself in the mirror as you get sweatier and sweatier. Yeah. It's like, no.
It's a lot of fun to train with you, though. I have to say, it's a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun training with you, so.
I'm glad.
And I think having a gym buddy helps. Having someone fun to train with definitely helps. Although, you know, if you have nobody that will train with you, I'm sure you can get someone into doing one thing to get you over that initial walk through the door hump. I think, you know, if you want to go to a yoga class or like a new class or whatever, drag a friend with you for the first one, and you'll make friends there. You'll find people to train with once you're in situ. So even if you just have someone who gets you over that first initial, like, oh mate, can you just come to 2 yoga classes with me while I make yoga friends, you know, whatever. You will do it, you know, as long as you get in the door, the journey will begin for you, I think.
And that's, again, it's completely true. I mean, the majority of my friends, I used to think I was so lame, but now I'm like, I really like it. I'm like, I have friends that like the same things as me. But my friends I met from being in the gym.
From being there.
From training in the gym. And then eventually, like, you'll allow people into your bubble that you've created. Yeah. And you just go, okay, we can be friends. Yeah. Or you'll be sharing something, you know, like a squat rack or something. Yeah. And when you've done your one, they'll do theirs or right? You won't know them, but that's part of sharing and being in a communal space. But then from that you make friends, and I've made some great friends from being at the gym. And if anything, they're a lot more honest, right? They're a lot more honest. I can trust them. Yeah. I can trust them physically, because if I'm about to start falling because I've got a weight on me, then I'm like, no. Then I know that they're there to catch me, almost literally, you know. So I'm going down, bye. Bye.
I go down now, bye.
But yeah, you know, it doesn't have to be a trainer. Yeah. It can just be a friend. Yeah. And again, it's planning. So knowing, also one of the big things I find is people coming into the gym, again, they know in quotes that they should be doing some form of exercise. They know that doing all your body parts is great and all that kind of stuff. But then what do they do? So they'll come in and they go, okay, I'm going to do a bit of this machine. Done a bit of that. All right. They'll make up randomly how many they're going to do and for how long. It'll either be a really short amount of time or an excessive amount of time. Yeah. They'll be like, oh yeah, I did 8 sets. As in, they've done 10 of a thing, they've waited, done 10 of a thing, waited.
8 times.
It's 8 times on the same machine. Yeah. Like, firstly,
is that no good?
I could basically never do that.
Okay.
Well, no, it's more of if you're actually working to your capacity or your strength, right? Yeah. If you're working efficiently during that time, you're not going to be able to physically do it that
do
long.
80,
do you know what I mean?
right,
Like sometimes I'll do more than 4 or 5,
Yeah.
but it'll be if I'm just doing squats that day,
Yeah.
or I'm just doing deadlifts that day,
Uh-huh.
or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm focusing, but then even then I'm going up the weights and I'm not doing as many or whatever.
What's the sort of basic rule of thumb idea? So if you're going to go into the gym and you're going to hit a few machines in no particular order to do a bit of full body whatever, how many reps and how many sets would you say is just a good place to start?
So beginner wise,
Yeah.
I would say just stick to the good old 10 to 12 reps,
Yeah.
3 sets.
3 sets.
Done.
Would you say if you could do more than 10 to 12 that you're not doing enough weight? Like if you're finding it very easy, if you could do 20 whatevers, should you do a bit more weight?
It's a hard one. It depends. It depends is the answer, because it depends on what you're training for. So, for example, if it's sort of, it's called toning, but it's not toning, but basically general maintenance and all that kind of stuff. If you're doing over like 15 reps, that's kind of what that is. Yeah. You've then got the section where it's between your sort of 8, 10, 12 reps is hypertrophy. So like you can do the pump, and then you've got when it's 4, 6, 8, really small amount of reps, and that'll be strength work because you're putting that
big pressure.
Weight, a lot more weight. Yeah. You're doing maybe 1 lift, 2, 3, 4, whatever. Your breaks will be 2 to 3 minutes depending, because all the energy, as it were, I'll keep it simple, has to go back into your muscles and your nervous system and all that kind of stuff plays a massive part. But then you'll have your standard 10 to 12, and then your breaks in between could be sort of 30 seconds to a minute, again, depending on what your weight is. But in answer to your question, if we're basing it on that, the 10 to 12 kind of standard template, I would always say start on a lower weight, make sure you're warmed up and all that kind of stuff, and then see where you sit. Go up, so put a bit more weight on it, see how it feels. If it still feels like a piece of piss, then probably yes. Yeah. But also because part of that is if you're, for example, doing lat pull downs, if you're doing it really, really fast, you're probably not utilising the muscles properly. Yeah. Right, the contraction and all that kind of stuff. Like you're probably not bracing and you're not using the muscles
full
of that
group.
Yeah, you're basically just using motion.
Right.
Like if you're doing leg raises and you're just suddenly
swinging it around.
I have seen it a lot. But if you're doing that, again, the muscles that you should be utilising and using are not really actually playing a part properly because you're using the motion. So this is what I mean. It's individual. Workouts are individual. It depends on you. It depends on your abilities, and
you've got to pay attention to you.
Yeah, exactly. So what I would say is start light. Make sure you're warmed up. Make sure you've got that mind muscle connection. Your body feels like, yeah, okay, I'm ready. I see what you're bringing to the table. This is what we're going to do. Fab. So that's your first set. Second one, go up a bit, and then third one, either then go up a little bit from there, or do the same weight, or go back down.
Or bring it back down. Right. Perfect.
So again, it depends what you're doing. It depends what you feel comfortable with. But that would be my basis.
Sound advice, I think.
And you can go from there.
Brilliant. Awesome. Nice. Yeah. So I have a question. I have many questions, but I have a fitness related. So many questions, Fran. Where do I begin? So many questions. Okay, if you could give like a quick kind of few pointers for gym etiquette for beginners. So if you're feeling like super intimidated about going to the gym and you don't want to look like idiot, you want to make sure you're not breaking any kind of like unwritten rules or anything, like a quick few pointers of like how to successfully navigate your first couple of times.
Okay. I mean, there are so many. That's the problem.
Oh.
But okay. So have a think about what you want to do before you go in.
Good.
I'd suggest looking online. There's loads of websites that show you different moves, how machines work, all that kind of stuff. So if you wanted to kind of have a quick, I know that machine does this thing, you can do that. The machines all if you're using the machines rather than free weights, they will always have a little picture of roughly what muscles they cover, quick instructions of how to do it, and often you can then go, oh, okay, so I'm going to use the blah, blah, blah machine, give it a Google, totally fine. So again, this is research kind of thing a bit before.
Yeah.
But, so there's that. Take a towel with you, just like a little one. But if you're a sweaty person, take it. Because if you're on a bench, if you're on something and you leave your little sweat angel, people are going to get mad. Like, that's gross. That is gross. Yeah. Take water with you.
Yes.
Make sure that you've eaten in the day or whatever. Like, make sure you've had something, at least an hour or so before you're trying to train. Partially for your own safety, but also because then you don't want to be fainting. You don't want to be falling. You don't want to be feeling weak and all that kind of stuff. Again, headphones, keep music to yourself.
Yeah.
I don't, like, some people will start playing it off their phone.
This is not like, the top deck of the N29.
Yeah. Not into that.
Yeah.
I don't want that.
No, it's not a rave bus.
People have different music tastes. I, for one, am very aware of this, right? Mine ranges a hell of a lot. And I know for a fact that some people will not appreciate what I'm playing at that particular moment.
I've got a tale to tell in fear of getting your music heard.
Yeah.
I was in the gym once and I have my music on and I must have had it on quite loud because the guy next to me could hear it, right?
Yeah.
It was on my earphones, but it must have been up quite loud because he was like, oh, what are you listening to? I looked down at my phone. I'm listening to Alien Vampire's Foot Job Addiction. So how am I? And I was just like, goth music.
You're like,
metal. You know what's funny? You know when you can see like the next track that's coming up was like called "I Fuck Nuns" or something mad. Like it was just some other mad Alien Vampires kind of, because it's like, gothy kind of
power,
fun.
You're like,
yeah, workout music.
Yeah.
For creatures of the night. I was just like, I have no hint from the next track. There's not something I can say. Nothing I can say. Got goth music.
Yeah, you're like, noises.
So, you want to keep your music to yourself. Avoid those situations.
It's always going to happen. Because you even get people that come up to you and they're like, oh, what you listening to? Depending on the day. Yeah. It could be anything from Pantera to NSYNC to whatever else. Like the other day, I was like, I was listening to this. It's like a whole soundtrack. There was like a warrior soundtrack. So basically, it's just like loads of instrumentals from like films and things, and like
Game of Thrones soundtrack.
Yeah, like hardcore violin. And I was like really getting into it, like doing sumo deadlifts, like. And it was just violins like the whole time, and I was like. Because someone had just on that day gone, oh, what are you listening to? And I was like, not today, sunshine, not today.
Which that was an easy question to answer. Yeah. Really do. Really do.
Jazz covers of Disney.
Gosh.
Like, it can vary so much, but this is the thing. It's kind of like, look, this is your space. Totally fine. Yeah. At the end of the day, if people are complaining because they can hear it through your headphones, at the end of the day, you're in a gym. They need to suck it up.
Yeah.
But if you're playing, like, again, trap music, fine. Play it out when I'm trying to listen to something like my violins. Frankly, you need to leave.
If I can hear your Sean Paul over my violins,
I'm gonna get mad. I'm gonna get mad. But yeah, that's the thing. Again, it's just stuff like put your weights back if you're using them. Just think of it this way. Firstly, if you've used loads of weights and you just left them about, that's just shit. That's like going to someone's room and tripping over all of their crap. Yeah. I mean, you only really do that if you're a mother or something, because otherwise, why are you in my room? Please leave. But if you're in the gym, it's like, you don't know whether or not the next person trying to use that is a beginner, isn't that strong, and just basically just don't be an arse.
It's a shared environment, man.
But that's the thing. It's like, put your stuff back so other people can use it. You know where it is, all that kind of stuff, 100%, right? Yeah. Some gyms aren't super tidy. No. Okay, like it's and it's not your place to be cleaning it.
The tidy person.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, but at the same time, like I'll use things and I'll walk up to a platform or whatever it is, and there's just shit everywhere. And I'm like, do you know what? Before I even start, I'm putting this stuff away. I'm going to put these weights back where they need to go, put the plates back, and then I can start. Yeah. But that's just me being like, tidy house, tidy mind, get going.
Yeah, but you can't, it's not cool, man. It's not cool. It's a shared space. Shared space rules apply. Yes. Don't trash it. Put things where they're meant to be put back. Put them back where you got them from when you're done. Yeah. It's a nice way to let people know it's available to use as well. If there's a weight in the middle of the area and you're like, I want to use that weight, but is anyone using it? I don't know. And you stand there for a minute wasting your own time wondering if the biggest person you've ever seen in your life is going to come and pick that weight up, and you'll be like, oh, just stare at you. I was using that. Put stuff back. But don't make people like me anxious.
But that's the thing as well, because it's like people... For me now, if I want to use something and it's clear, even if it's not completely clear, I'll pick the thing up, look around, be like, is anyone using this? And then just walk off with it. Done. Right. If I want to use something while someone's still using it, I'll ask them how many sets they've got left, and then just go, okay, cool. We've got 1 or 2. I'll either go do something else and come back, but I'll just say, I want to use it after you. And then it's etiquette. Being, if someone said to you, I want to use this thing after you, and you know there's no one else waiting. If someone comes up to ask you to use it that isn't them, you just say, that guy over there wants to use it afterwards. Speak to him about your plans for sharing.
Your shared plans for the future.
So again, things like that, like be aware of the space, be aware that it's not just yours. Yeah. But also remember, it's not just whoever it is that's just using that squat rack, and if there's only like one or whatever, it's not just theirs either. No. You're perfectly entitled to ask people questions. If they're rude about it, they're rude. But at the end of the day, if there's something you want to use and there isn't an abundance, don't be afraid to ask. Yeah, don't be put off. Because even if someone is grumpy as hell, they should know roughly either how many sets they've got left or if they give you a time. Yeah. So if someone says to me, they're like, I don't know. And I'm like, okay, well,
10 minutes?
5 minutes, 10 minutes. Like, what are we looking at? Because this is part of my training plan. Yeah. I've come in prepared. And I kind of want to know.
And I think, like, when you said about being prepared and having a little bit of research done, it gives you the confidence to do things like that as well, because you know what you're doing. You know, and also, if you're like, oh, I've got to get on this machine and they're going to stand there and eyeball me, it's like, well, it doesn't matter even, because you know what you're doing. Yeah. And you feel comfortable and confident, and you kind of, set yourself up for success, right?
Yeah. And even if 100%. You don't, again, it's sort of using that, a little part of you that might not feel that brave, but if you're on something, you know you've got a couple of sets left, i.e. you've got a bit of time, depending on how fast or slow you're doing it, blah, blah, blah. But if there's someone who's just hanging about and is making you feel awkward, just say, I'm really sorry, do you mind shuffling a little bit?
Yeah, I'm going to be 10 minutes, come back.
Yeah. Again, it's like, if you're using a machine or a bit of equipment and you're in front of a mirror, then someone just stands directly in front of you, and you're like, I will put it down or I'll stare at them in the mirror. But either way, I'm just like, can you just shuffle a little bit, please?
Can you share?
Sorry.
Can you share, please?
Yeah, it's like, whether or not you use a mirror or not, or if it's just someone that's a little bit too close in your space, if there's room, obviously if it's busy, you kind of have to work it out.
Yeah, figure it out, share.
Stuff like that. Remember that even if you don't feel super comfortable and you're not super confident, owning your space and taking over the things that you want to use, just ask. Just say to people, because at the end of the day, they probably did the same thing. At some point, you'll get used to it. You'll get to a point where you're just like, do you know what? I know what I'm doing. I know the layout. I know what's happening. I know where the stuff is that I want to use, and therefore, I'm happy to say to someone,
you're free with it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Can I use it? Can I do? But yeah, it's kind of not being afraid in that kind of sense as well.
Sure. I've got some questions about how, like a lot of us have a sort of sedentary life, and I was saying, like, a lot of people don't start their fitness journey and blah, blah, blah. Are there any tips for, like, how to beat the being stationary all the time thing? Any sort of tips and tricks to kind of wedge a bit of movement or a bit of good for your heart exercise into your day without committing to, like, trying to discover your own fitness? Is there some quick fixes for a sedentary life?
There are, yes. Ultimately. No, there are always things that you can do. Things like, if you're working in an office, and that's what we're going with, right?
Yeah, that's where we're at.
Yeah. You're sitting a lot, you're in as much of an ergonomic chair as works, which is never ergonomic, may I add. Like, you've got your footstool, you've got your back bit, but it's still at a weird angle and all this kind of thing. You're probably going to have tight muscles in places. You're going to be changing from being really upright to being slumped to being on your side to being like this to crossing your legs that way and throughout the day. Good things to do in general: stretching, which I know is quite dull for some people. I find it quite relaxing.
I love
as long as I'm in it, I'll be like 20 minutes, half an hour.
I'm camp stretch. I put a bit of smooth sole on, and I'm in for 45 minutes doing it. I love a stretch.
That's great.
Flexible.
But that is a massive thing, because it's things like hip opening movements.
Yeah.
So hip flexors, which get tight because you're sitting like this, and they're just like this, sitting on top.
Yeah.
And you're not stretching them out because you're not walking, or you're not moving your leg in different ways and different planes and all that kind of stuff. Resistance bands, hilariously. But I've done it before where I've like just hooked it onto my ankles, moved one leg out, one leg in, one leg out, one leg in. I'm still at my desk.
Yeah.
As long as you're sort of focusing on where you're breathing and all that kind of stuff.
Your core properly,
You know, that's like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
You can do, 10 each side, do it a few times, and then move the band to above your knees, and then it's a bit different. It's a bit of a different place. Walk. Just try and have a little wander. Remember to have breaks. Remember to drink water when you're at your desk. Like, that's a massive thing that people don't do. Getting outside, all that kind of stuff. Like there are small exercises that you can do. You can use the equipment that you've got in the office. So it's like you can do, you could do a plank on the floor. You could do a little bit of ab work, or a bit of strengthening. Search for home workouts. Yeah, you're not at home, but
you can
find a space.
You can do a little bit. You find yourself a little corner,
exactly.
do a little something,
and
something.
Like, if you're not, I'm thinking of this in the way of, if you don't have time to be getting sweaty, basically.
Yeah. Or you can't because you're in public, Yeah,
exactly. But you need to move. You feel a bit achy. You feel a bit sort of not yourself and all that kind of stuff. It's little things like rolling your shoulders, giving yourself a slow turning, stretching, moving your hips out. Yeah. Like footballers' exercises. Open the gate, close the gate. Things like that. As much as it's such a simple thing, it might feel a bit weird. Stand up and do it. Or go to the toilet. Again, bit of a weird one.
Shut yourself in a cubicle. Yeah.
Even do some squats. Yeah. Down to the toilet, use that as your base, come back up. I've done that before. Yeah. And I've done it. Usually it'll actually be after I've had a leg day a couple of days before and I'm still a bit achy.
You need to put some blood back in.
Yeah, exactly. And you
can even press up off the wall, like off the door, anything like that.
You can lean, put your body weight, you can do some press ups, you can do, as I say, you can do band work, you can just lifting your legs, so lifting your legs straight when you're sitting on a chair, slow, sort of like flutter legs as it were, straight legs, straight up, breathe, and you're using your core, but you're also giving your spine a bit of a wiggle. Yeah. Little things.
That's really helpful, actually. That's really helpful, because I think you feel like, because you're not in situ, there's nothing you can do. You're at work and that's work time. And then you're like, if I go to the gym at lunchtime, that will be fitness. But actually fitting some stuff in just in your day, keeping you mobile is great. I mean, we were saying earlier about like doing admin work and you're like going to do it for an hour and then you're going to get a coffee or whatever. You can make those breaks your little fitness breaks. You can take yourself off for a minute. You're like, I've worked for half an hour and like an hour. I can go to the toilet and do a minute of squats and a minute of press ups off the door or whatever, or sit at your desk and do some band work, or stand up and have a quick stretch. You shouldn't feel guilty or wrong for fitting. You can just fit it in. You've done an hour of work. Move for 5 minutes. Great.
Exactly.
Take a walk around the block. Smokers will go out and hurt themselves for 5 minutes. Go around and help yourself for 5 minutes.
Do you know what I mean? It's don't get me started.
Cigarette breaks. I used to have hula hoop breaks.
Why do I not have breaks? Just because I don't smoke? Yeah, so stressful.
I used to, because
I need 5 minutes outside where someone's not going to force me to come back in.
Yeah. Because I used to smoke a bit, and when I worked in circus and stuff, and when I was in their office. And we used to go for a cigarette break, and then I quit, and I was like, I really miss the head break, be away from desk for 5 minutes. So I just went for a hula hoop break. I just go and do hula hoop for like 5 minutes
I
outside.
love that.
Go with a smoker, and then you can time it out so it's fair. As long as they're smoking, you're hooping. You're good.
Yeah, it's totally fine.
Hula hoops are wicked for that.
Oh my god,
They are pure joy. They are pure
so
joy.
Fun.
Actually, talking about
and
exercise,
you make friends because people are like, oh, can I have a
what
go?
are you doing? I haven't done this since I was 10. Yeah, exactly. Oh gosh. Yeah. And you can learn tricks with them, so that's fun. Yeah, I don't know if you're a nerd.
I love a trick.
I do love a trick. Yeah,
we all know that I've been waiting for my time to join the circus. One day.
It's coming, man. It's coming. I see it in your future.
Slowly getting there.
Yeah, I feel it for you. I'll mentor you with my.
Yes.
I'd be like Mr. Miyagi,
so
but like circus style.
I nearly bought some nunchucks the other day.
Did you?
Yeah, I was playing with this broomstick handle and I was like doing this because I used to do poi.
Yeah.
This is so off topic.
Yeah.
But
roll with it.
I used to do that, and then I was like, oh, where do I get my nunchucks from? And I'm like, it's probably a lot easier to do that same kind of movement, but with obviously something that's made for it rather than a massive broomstick handle.
I don't know. I like a bit of staff. I used to love a bit of staff. You know, yeah.
Until you hit yourself in the face, it's a lot more embarrassing.
Mate, I was learning a trick called a half Steve when I was doing staff.
Interesting.
And I split my eyebrow. Smashed my eyebrow open doing it. Yeah, not like I was an idiot, but I was doing this trick, right? And I kept doing it, and it kept getting me in the face, and like I got more and more frustrated, and then I caught myself proper bad with it once. And then somebody I was training with was like, you just need to let it drop a little bit before you bring your arm up. And it was just like a tiny adjustment, and then I could do it, and I was like, as if I stood in front of you doing this for an hour, hitting myself in the face. And then they looked at me like, just drop your shoulder a little bit, just let it drop down there a little bit, and there you go. It's like, wow. Actually, strangely,
but you don't learn, you know.
Yeah,
you don't learn sometimes.
Sometimes you need someone to.
You need someone to tell you.
Someone to tell you where you're, because I'm in my head, I'm doing the move and it's not working. It's hitting me, and I can't understand why I'm not getting it. Yeah, just needed that little key kind of note. It's a shame you couldn't have said anything before I cut my eyebrow open. A little bit rubbish. Actually, circus is quite a cool, well, no, not cool, but like quite a good way to have fun fitness.
Oh, it's cool.
It's quite a good way to have fun fitness.
Pretend it's not cool.
It's pretty cool. It's
just
cool.
I love it.
Cool on the right people. I don't know what is cool. I mean, that's so subjective, isn't it?
It doesn't make you cool. I'm just saying the actual thing itself is pretty cool.
It's
like people are always intrigued by it.
Yeah, for sure.
But it's
it's quite
like
fun.
You're
fitness,
about to say it's fun fitness, and it uses a lot of strength and a lot of energy and a lot of actually cardio fitness.
Yeah, for sure. Certain elements, definitely.
And your brain.
And also, like, I think, you know, we're talking about things being expensive, and circus jamming can be quite cheap or free. Like if you get yourself a basic practice staff or a basic practice poi or a grown-up hoop, you know, you're looking at investing about 20-25 quid. But then you can go and play with that in the park in the summer, like as much as you want, or any green space or a garden, you know. And it's the kind of thing where other people might want to play with you. It's fun, it's play. It's not fitness, it's play, but it is fitness, because, you know, if you do it right, you know. And sometimes the win is just getting moving. It's not, you know, weight or cardio, you know, specific. It's just sometimes it's just not being sat down indoors staring at a screen. Sometimes
with aircon going through your face.
Get some fresh air, get some vitamin D, get outside for 10 minutes. Hula hooping is such joy though. That's my favourite. I was hula hooping with a friend of mine in the park. He's like 6'2" or something, 6'3", big goth guy, big beard, piercings, and there was me, and I was all in black, and I had mad coloured hair, and we were both hula hooping. I'm teaching him some hula hoop tricks, and we're having a giggle.
Incredible.
And these couple of chaps ride past on their bike, they stop and they look at us, and one of them says to the other one, "Don't imagine people like that doing that, do you?" And cycled off. And we were just like.
It's like, they're the happiest goths I've ever seen.
I never knew goths should be so full of joy.
That's hilarious.
We did look hysterical. To be fair, I was like, they've got a point. We look ridiculous, you know.
But you know,
we'd had such a nice day in the park.
Yeah, why not?
Hula hooping. We had ice cream after. You know,
that sounds awesome.
It was good. Yes. It was good. Owning my fitness with my hula hoop and my friend.
Exactly.
Maybe there's an ice cream in there, maybe there isn't. I don't know.
Summer. It depends how many hula hoopies you've done.
So if you've done enough hula hoopies, you've had your ice cream, for sure.
Look, hey, it's all about balance.
Yeah.
You know, it's all about balance.
Absolutely, all about balance. Owning it. Yes.
But it is, I think, just just getting out and doing something.
Yeah.
Just get some fresh air. I mean, I know it's a certain element of it not being so fresh here.
No.
But,
well, we're in London, but, you know.
Well, yeah, specifically, that's
but
what
even
I mean.
then, London's a pretty green city, you know, there's lots of parks.
No, that's true. There are a lot of parks. There's also it's just that difference between being in an office, staring at a screen, not moving, not...
Yeah, break it up.
It depends. Obviously, it depends on what kind of office and all that kind of stuff. But at the same time, you're still in a building.
Yeah, for sure.
For X amount of hours every single day, and staring at a thing. And
this ties in as well with your mental health, as well. You know, like fitness is great for your mental health.
Yeah, it's incredible.
And even just beginning to own your fitness and your body, even in a small way, just getting out for 10 minutes, just moving around, just having a shakedown, even if it's a secret shakedown in the toilet where you're just like, I'm having a shakedown on the sly. But
I'm a jazzy octopus.
Just getting in touch with your body, getting out your head, getting some ownership over that will improve your mental health, you know, definitely. And then being on a fitness journey in a big way, and you start putting half an hour cardio in, then you really see some mental health benefits, for sure, definitely.
Like, I mean, it's, as I said at the beginning, it's one of the massive reasons why I started doing fitness on my own.
Yes.
Because I wasn't in school. I didn't, you know, I mean, even at school, I wasn't really... I did sports and things, but again, it's not... Once you get out of that environment, it's up to you. You then either join a club, or you do this, or you do that as an adult. You know, you're not like forced for X amount of time a week to do blah,
no
blah,
one's
blah.
drilling you,
Not chasing you around a forest. Sounds weird. I grew up in the countryside. That sounded a lot more creepy.
I was instantly Slender Man.
Oh, murder.
That's where I went. I was 100% in a murder situation. Like, you know,
but I did get fit that time.
What do you do for fitness? Well, I'd lure predators to the forest, and then I'd see if I could outrun them. Wow, Fran.
To be fair, I probably
country
would,
pursuits. Hashtag country pursuits.
So,
mate,
that's not quite what I meant.
No,
but
you gotta,
I know. Set the scene before you say stuff like that. Like a crazy woman. But the mental health thing. Yes. So, for me, it's a massive. Sometimes it's hard, right? Because in a general day-to-day, you don't always want to go to the gym. You don't always want to work out. You don't always want to push your body when you're feeling knackered and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. When you then have a very anxious brain, or you're depressed, or you are, like, whatever else might be going on, that makes it worse. You are more fatigued. You are more stressed out. Your brain is like spaghetti, and you're trying to work out a way of fitting in this thing into it, as well as work, as well as actually getting up and out of bed sometimes.
It's kind of counterintuitive, isn't it? You know, that you feel like you really don't want to do it because you're wound up and stressed and anxious and upset and you're busy and maxed, but actually it will help.
Yeah. But then you do it, and then you have this feeling of achievement and accomplishment and general... Like I always say, that it's getting rid of my bad juju. Yeah. Like, you know, it's that stuff, the stuff that makes you feel sticky and
turn that stuff into energy and wallop it out.
Yeah, use it. And like even just doing it regularly.
Yes.
So regular for some people will be 2-3 times a week, and it'll just be a short burst. Regular for other people, like me, is more of like 6 days a week, 7 days a week. Not that I'll go full on every day. Just, again, a bit of something.
Active rest day.
Active rest. Which is sometimes just rest, because that's what you need.
Real rest.
I'm just saying, you also need actual rest.
Yeah. Allow yourself rest.
Yeah. But choosing exercise, i.e. choosing health, choosing fitness, choosing yourself over abusive things such as eating a load of shit and just feeling sad about it. Yeah. Alcohol, drugs, whatever else, right? Stuff that is not going to put you in a positive space, essentially. So choosing exercise over that is not always the easiest thing. But for me, if I feel crap, if I'm feeling shit, if I'm feeling whatever, for me, doing a bit of exercise rather than going, I'm just going to drink loads, I'm just going to do this, I'm just going to do that. You know, that for me, I know that in the long run, that's going to save me. That's going to make me feel better.
It's a longer term investment in your happiness.
Because also you then, how many times you've, whether or not you've got, you know, mental health things going on or not, or to a drastic degree or a minimum or however you want to word it, whether or not you've just got a little something to be facing or a big thing, basically. How good do you feel if you've had like loads of wine or loads of spirits or whatever, on the day that you feel crap, how good do you feel the next day? Do you feel fresh and ready and like your mind is clear and your muscles feel great and da-da-da? Yeah, because if you say yes, the answer is you're a liar.
Yeah, you're a liar, or you haven't stopped drinking yet.
You're a big fat liar. Yeah, or you're
still drunk.
And therefore you're still lying.
You're still in the drunk time.
Yeah. But even then, it's like, you know, it's easy to fall back into stuff like that.
Yeah, for sure.
To fall into those things that might have made you feel better at a different time.
Yeah,
but if it becomes regular,
instant kind of, you know, instant gratification again. It's like you have 2 glasses of wine, you feel better. You know, that's quick. That's a quick better, you know, but then do you deal with what's making you feel bad? No. Do you make any positive steps for yourself? No. You know, do you feel good the next day? Less so. You borrowed your happiness from tomorrow and had it today a little bit, you know, for sure.
And even then it's like, did you really feel happier, or did you just feel a bit subdued about the situation?
Yeah, sometimes you feel a bit.
I mean, sometimes you feel a bit happier. Like, you know, I'm not going to say never drink and never do that because it's people's life.
Oh,
you know,
it's
like,
sure, yeah.
As I say, balance in everything. You want a pudding, go have a pudding. Just don't have it every single night before you go to bed for every day.
Don't always pudding. Just pudding sometimes.
Just like partial pudding.
Yeah, see, I'm an always wine kind of girl. Like I'm, you know, love to drink. Absolutely. My favourite thing.
And
which
cheese.
Love to cheese, love to drink more, love to drink. This was nearly an alcohol podcast. I'm not even going to lie to you. And it was like, I'm going to do a podcast. I'm just going to do it about drinking all over the world. That was my plan. I was like,
I'm so glad that wasn't the thing.
Well, this is the thing. I'm on my own journey with it. You know, I'm on my own journey, which is like,
of course.
I'm never going to stop drinking, but I accept that it doesn't always serve me. And sometimes you think it does serve you and it doesn't.
Yeah.
You know, that whole... I used to say, if you have 2 glasses of wine and you don't feel better, then you do need a psychiatrist. You know, that was kind of like how I solved my mental health. It was like, if I can't have 2 wines and it's gone, it's a real problem. And that's a rubbish way to approach life.
Ideal.
That's crap. But so many of us do it.
Yeah, of course.
So,
of course.
I've come on a journey with that too, which is that, you know what, wine can happen when everything else is done, when everything else is in place, you know, but I know if I have something to deal with emotionally or big or even stuff to tackle work-wise, big stuff, wine has to go away. Wine does not help. It's not your friend.
Constructive.
It's not constructive. It doesn't, you know, especially emotional stuff, especially if you're dealing with something. It's so seductive to be like, I'm just going to go and drink until I don't feel feelings anymore. And it's like, no, feelings are because you're alive, and being alive is good. Get stuck in. They're teaching you. Your feelings, your emotional life teaches you. Don't be numb to it.
Allow it.
Get it in, you know, be real with it. So,
but again, it's allowing it and controlling your responses in a positive way. As much as, like I say, life happens, right? I mean,
we're all on the ride.
Shit, you know?
You got to be on the ride. Yeah.
You can't pretend like you're altruistic and this incredible human being that never touches anything.
Yeah, no one's a saint.
Like,
that's the last thing.
I call bull on that.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm so not interested in people that are giving saint vibe. I'm not into it at all.
It's too much.
I like a reformed sinner. So that's the people with insight, people that have lived, people with insight, reformed sinner. You know, like I want to hear about people that have gone to the edge, gathered the grit, come back from it and made sense of it. That's the journey I'm interested in. So that's
exactly,
you know,
and
for sure
it's not always easy, and making those decisions isn't always easy.
No.
But again, it's like if you're someone who drinks a lot, just think, okay, how much of that drinking is happening during the week? How much of that is happening when it's actually causing me a problem? And then you can tweak from there.
Absolutely.
You don't need to go, oh, I'm never going to drink again.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you can. Like, great, good for you. That's great. I'm like a once a month drinker.
Yeah.
You know, because it doesn't help me. It doesn't make me feel good. But sometimes it's, you know, it's a social thing. It's it's nice. You go out, you do whatever. Like, if it's social at home or if it's social with whatever. But I would never sit at home and drink by myself. But that's just me.
Yeah.
Again, because that doesn't help me. That doesn't make me feel better. That doesn't make me do the things I need to do either that evening, that day, or the next day or whatever.
Sure.
But if you're a regular drinker, it's just more about when are you drinking and why are you drinking? Are you drinking just because it's a thing and it's a habit and da-da-da? Because if so, you can probably change it a little bit.
For sure, yeah.
If you're doing it because of something going on, probably need to have a think about that.
Yeah, definitely.
And think of other avenues of expressing yourself or talking to someone or whatever.
Working it out one way or another. I will say, actually, definitely as somebody who drank to deaf out feelings at times, the peace and quiet you get when you work out is second to none. That's the kind of peace and quiet you're after, in my experience. Yeah. That's, you know, like you come home and you've had a really stressful day and you're like really fucked off or whatever, and you think, oh, I'll have a couple of drinks and those feelings don't really go anywhere. They sit beside the happy drunk feelings. They're kind of clashing in together and one's on top of the other. But when you go gym, you get an hour and you just like work out and your brain just shuts up for some time. And it's like, even if when you come out, you might not feel like better, but you will feel like better than you felt when you went in. You'll feel like some of it's worked through, or at least you've had half an hour to an hour of peace and quiet. You know, or
listening to your music. And you're like
just doing serve yourself for an hour. And show yourself enough love to give that to yourself, you know, like make a good decision for you. Love yourself enough to make a good decision for you, for sure. Like drinking can stay, it has its time and its place. Like I'm never gonna be the fun police on that.
I'd never say to you, just stop completely.
Can you imagine my face if you did?
Do you know what I mean? Yeah, we would never have carried on our sessions.
I would have.
That never would have happened if I'd said to you, so I need you to stop eating cheese and stop drinking wine from now.
Yeah, I would have been like, oh, so I guess I just won't be alive then, Fran.
Good
Is that
day.
what you... I would have dropped the weight and just walked. I wouldn't have even said anything. I just like, weight drop.
You would have just looked at me, been like, don't even care if it lands on your foot. It's your own fault. You caused this to happen.
Or I would have laughed and called you a funny comedian.
Yeah.
You are a funny comedian. You are a funny
Drop kicks me in the face.
Yeah, no, I think for sure that there's a lot of benefits there for your mental health, and they should be considered, you know, and big time.
I think a lot more people are aware
for sure
that it can, because people, you're constantly told it's endorphins and it'll make you feel great, but sometimes it's people as a whole that aren't used to doing fitness or whatever don't sort of understand exactly how. They don't understand that actually it's not just being like, oh, I came into a room where people are all sweaty and stuff. It's like, that's not the bit. The bit is, like you say, it's zoning out. It's not thinking about all that shit that's happening, or the work you've got to do, or this and that, because you've already put aside that time for yourself. And sometimes it's just simply that. It's time for yourself.
Honour yourself a little bit.
And you're then sorting out, you're then as a lovely secondary thing, your cardio system and your muscles and your brain and your your stress levels,
getting the
like
motor running,
all the hormones and all that kind of stuff. Also getting a lovely hit of some
your body
good shit.
Rewards you on top.
Exactly.
You know, it's wonderful.
But sometimes it is just, I want to go in, I want to lift some heavy weights, or I need to run on a treadmill until my feet cannot possibly run anymore because I need to get this out.
Yeah.
Whatever that is.
Yes. Get it out.
I've cried on a treadmill before. Oh. Right? No. I've fully been like, ha ha ha, people think it's sweat, but I'm crying. But I was super stressed out, and I was it got to that point where I was having a day where I just felt like I was just a wreck. Yeah. I mean, a lot of it was sweat, but also, when you're like, oh, it's not like I'm sat next to a window with a single tear.
Yeah.
Against the window, But that's the thing. Did anyone care? No. Did anyone even notice?
Probably not.
No.
Almost definitely not, yeah.
Like, they wouldn't have. Because if I'm looking at my face when I've slowed down, start walking again, and I'm just like, I just look really sweaty.
Yeah. You just look like you've had a good
Then
workout.
no one else is going to think,
no one's going to know.
oh, her eyes are a little bit red as well. You're like, shut up, Steve. Whatever. You know, but it's...
Yeah. I think that's the thing though, like when people talk about, oh, go to the gym, you'll feel better, it will help your mental health, they don't quantify that in actually what that feels like, what that is. And that it really does feel like quiet time in your brain, which you don't get. Especially for me, I'm an overthinker. Yeah. I'm a little anxious. Can be a little highly strung.
Yeah.
So I notice the quiet time that I get from it, you know, and then, you know, all right, it's not like always totally stimulating, exciting. It's not like watching a film where you're like entertained. You're just quietly in yourself, you know, and that's kind of wonderful in its own right. Yeah. And then, like you say, your body says thank you as well. And if you're lucky, you get a nice rush, you get some runner's high or whatever, you know, but your heart feels good, your muscles are happy, there's blood pumping around you, you feel alive, and then carry it on a bit into a habit and you start getting a bit more energy as well.
Massively,
so, you know, because when I got really fit in 2013, because I was upset and I was mentally health gymming, and I got really fit. Yeah. I mean, running was an option as a form of transport. Yeah. I'd be like, oh, I'm just going to run there. Yeah. That was how I'm getting there today. Yeah. Oh, I got to go to so-and-so's house. I'm just going to run there.
I'm going to use those feet I've got.
That's an option suddenly. Yeah. And it was the craziest thing because I wasn't in there with fitness goals at all. I was in there just to quietly sit in myself and stretch, run a bit, few weights, bit of stretch, you know, fighting my daytime Saturday desk job a little bit, you know, give myself some of that, but a lot of it was hoof my stress out, have a bit of quiet brain time, accidentally got really fit. It was great.
Yeah, we've all had that moment.
It's delightful.
But then with that, it's then about making sure you're eating enough, making sure you're drinking enough water, all that kind of stuff that comes with it, because as one little side note, not necessarily a caveat, but if one of the reasons why you're starting or one of the reasons why you are currently doing fitness for that reason, because the same thing for me, like a few years ago, I was in a really bad place. I moved out of London. I was cycling like 9 miles a day, home to work to the gym to home. And while I was at the gym, I was doing 40 minutes of cardio, and I was doing my weights, and I was doing everything else, and I was really, what I thought was focusing on my eating was becoming very obsessed with my eating. Right. I looked great, but I didn't feel great, actually. Like, if I'd sat down and gone, if I didn't have a lot of, like, mud going around my brain, right? If I wasn't feeling shitty, you know, for the reason why I was there and everything else, would this be sustainable day to day? And it's like, no, it wouldn't, because I went too far. And I was kind of then started neglecting myself in a different way because it was like, that was all I was using to make me happy. Oh, yeah. So you can slip off the other side and, you know, and you can have, but again, that's a lot of it is a mental health thing. Yeah. So like people that have eating problems, and not necessarily eating too much, just the opposite end of the spectrum. Yeah. And they think that they're too big, and then they're training so much, and but they kind of just need someone to say, look, let's have a chat.
What are you running from?
Yeah.
You shouldn't use it as a avoidance tactic.
You shouldn't. Yeah. No.
Like alcohol, same. Don't use it as an avoidance tactic. Is it better for you? I mean, as avoidance tactics go, that's the one to do.
Yeah. But exactly. Yeah. But I mean,
it's not a substitute for dealing with your issues.
It's that's my little side note.
Yeah, I'm with you. It's a caveat. Yeah. Get a personal trainer, get a counsellor.
Yeah, all these
have
things.
The two.
Yeah. And give yourself some time.
And here we are together.
So beautiful. And here we are. We can be hired out for birthdays, bar mitzvahs, weddings,
breakups,
and
divorces.
Yeah, and also all those other things you need help with.
Redundancies, Yeah, you need the two hearts. We are mind and body. You need to take care of both, for sure.
Yeah. Massively.
I tell you what though, as somebody who suffers with eating the other way, as Stuff Your Face Club over here, that point where I was at the gym enough to start like legitimately having a second lunch, happy days.
Okay, yeah, that's
happy days. I'd be like, oh, just better have some protein and a banana and some this, that, and the other. Like, at like 4 p.m. because I'm hitting the gym at like 5:30 or 5 o'clock, and I'm like, I don't want to be tired. I need
the energy. What a shame. Yeah, as long as you're eating the right
banana,
things that
peanut
fuel your
butter,
workout.
fake milk, blended up milkshake, and just being really smug about it. Like, this is like a pudding that I get to have because I go gym.
And that's also why a lot of people look so happy at the gym. Because they're smug as fuck.
You play your cards right and you get to be smug as fuck. Oh man, yeah, happy days. And yet, so I still struggle to get back into the gym now. Knowing all of this, having had that journey, knowing how good it was, I'm still sat here going, oh, what are you gym? It's 10 minutes down the road and then I have to put my trainers on.
Yeah, but when you do and when you go and once you've come back, how much pride, how much pride, and how much, like, it might seem like nothing, but at the end of the day, it's a thing.
I think, like,
it shouldn't be a thing, but it is.
Managing your goals, expectations around fitness, especially at the like normal person level, like people just trying to have a bit of fitness in their life, do a good thing for their body, maintenance type fitness, keeping work stress at bay with a bit of mental health fitness, that kind of stuff, for those kind of people. I can't remember where I was going with that. What did I even say? I can't even remember. Mine's gone blank.
It's a good thing.
It's a good thing.
It's a good thing.
That's going to bother me now. I had a really good point. So you know when you've done enough. It's like, I'd done enough. I can't remember what I was going to say.
The fact that even there's a normal person way of doing it and keeping it regular, and it is about habits and all that kind of stuff. But I know that wasn't your question.
No, I can't remember what my point was. Something about that. No, it's gone. It's completely gone. I'm just going to have to chop that whole bit off. Yeah. I really was going somewhere with that.
You can do it. Have a think. Take a second.
Just something about normal people fitness. No. Can't remember. You're not going to listen back to this and I'll know what it was.
Yeah,
and I'll be
that's going to be more annoying. Yeah.
Fuck. I hope I haven't made it hard to edit.
Probably have
now, haven't I? Probably
doesn't matter.
Probably have. Let's take a cut on it and talk about something else.
What you have
Talk a little bit about diet for a bit.
What?
Talk a little bit about diet. I can't remember what that was going to be about. That's going to bother me.
Yeah. You're going with normal people and just general day-to-day fitness.
Yeah.
Something to do with that.
Well, what were we talking about before then? Where had I come from, Cotton Eye Joe?
No, in my head I was like, where did you go? Where did you come from, Cotton Eye Joe? Oh. Now that's throwing me off.
We've gotten into Cotton Eye Joe. We're kind of... Camera's no longer connected to the Wi-Fi. What? What's happened? Oh God, the camera's off. This has all gone to shit.
Intermission, just going to be screenshots of our faces.
Wake it up. Is it going to wake up? When did that happen? Holy
I'm just going to get some water real quick.
Take a break.
Just need some water because my tea ran out.
Yes, there's cold water in the fridge as well.
Oh, that's alright, I'm not fancy.
What's happened here? I think the camera might have died.
Oh no.
Okay, that's cool. I can figure this out. Okay.
Just have to do a montage.
Gonna do a montage. Alright. Okay, I'm back on. Everything's on. So we
Beautiful.
Pick back up with our fresh teas. Continuity, that was over here.
So I kept the angle. It's all good.
So I have a question about diet. Mm-hmm. And it's around protein, because I feel like protein is this mythical thing that's really hard to get into your diet, and everyone's telling you should have loads of it, and then some people are like, you don't even need it if you don't train, and I'm just like, what?
A mild bamboozling.
Yeah, a fierce bamboozling, actually.
Yeah.
I think it's actually a
it's
fierce
mild,
bamboozling.
No.
And then, I Googled it, and they're like, yeah, you need like a gram of protein for every kilo of weight you are a day?
So starting point as an average, 0.8 kilograms per kilogram of body weight.
Right.
So roughly 1, yes.
Yeah.
But then you get, again, it depends, like we spoke about earlier, it depends on what your training is, how often, what your goals are, all that kind of thing. If you're looking for muscle mass and you're looking to increase your strength and all that kind of stuff, and really put on the weight, you're going to be going 2 times, 2.5 times, blah, blah, blah. Like, it's going to completely vary.
Okay.
Dependent on sedentary, not.
So let's go with sedentary.
Ultra marathon people, all that jazz.
Baseline, sedentary.
Yep. Normal day to day.
Normal day to day people.
Have it in your diet. It's good for you.
Got you.
Is the first thing.
Okay, yeah.
So it helps with your metabolism because of the way that it digests and thermogenesis, so your heat in your body and how you digest food. When you go to the gym, it helps with repairing of muscle. And all that kind of jazz. So that's why it's such a buzzword at the moment, and why suddenly you're getting cereal with protein.
Everything's got protein in it.
But it doesn't. If you actually look at how much protein is in cereal with protein, it'll be like, oh, it's got a bit of whey powder.
Yes. Yeah, it's
over
got a
the top,
smattering.
right? And you're like, okay, well, actually, I can get more if I just had a bit of milk or something.
Right.
Like, it's not the same.
Have an egg.
Yeah. Even that, it's like an egg has about 6 grams.
Okay.
And that's split between the yolk and the white. So if you're just having one bit, you're actually calculating. And that's a whole thing in itself, an egg. An egg is a whole thing in itself. The amino acid profile of an egg as a whole is great.
Okay. Have an egg if
and
you're
again,
not a vegan.
that's how, yeah, exactly.
And if you're a vegan that's happy to have eggs from somebody you know.
From somebody you know.
From a chicken you know. They're out there. People that are like,
chicken.
I'll have an egg from my friendly neighbourhood chicken. I'll have an egg from a chicken I know.
And if so,
chicken buddy.
You're probably not the vegan you thought you were.
Do you know what, man? I don't like to live in absolutes. I really, I'm on the
moderation.
Fence. I'm on the moderation. No, I don't like to live in absolutes. I don't like to be, assuming that everybody who agrees with some vegan ethics and practices are going to be the people that never want to have an egg. I know a few sort of not part-time vegans, but people with vegan philosophies and ideas that will have an egg from a chicken they know.
Yeah, they've made friends. There's been a long-term
They hang out. They've shared some experiences.
It's just a good time.
It's a give and take relationship. They feed the chicken gives the eggs. It's going to lay them anyway.
Yeah, also true. And also they don't always turn into chickens.
No.
Because it depends on the fertilisation of the
egg. Exactly. And we're not denying the chicken a chance for a bang. We're just saying, look, if you happen to not...
fancy
if you're not
rolling your egg in this direction,
if you're not going to use that egg, then...
Yeah. Anyway, back to the point at hand.
Yes.
If you want to eat an egg, eat an egg.
Good.
But, so it is a bit of a minefield, but it doesn't have to be, is essentially what I'm saying.
Okay.
If you are someone who regularly trains, you are interested in either being a bit leaner or just making sure that your muscles stay at a certain level or you want to grow them or whatever, protein has to be a proper factor in your diet.
Right.
With each meal, the amount that you need to have, however, is, again, like we've been saying the whole time, these things are individual. It depends on your height, it depends on your weight, it depends on your dietary requirements.
Sure.
Right? The protein that you get from beans and peas and like all that kind of stuff is so little in comparison to fishes and meats and things like that. So, you still need to have that protein. Again, it can be calculated for you. Like if you, we've had this discussion before, and I did the same thing with you.
Yeah, if you see
we calculated your sort of maintenance calories, and of that, how much of this is protein, how much are your carbs, how much are your fats, and then your micronutrients, so like your vitamins and your minerals and all that jazz. But we calculated how much you would need for what you were looking for, which again, a normal person, for the most part, you'll cover most of it. Like you will eat most of what you need for your protein daily. right? If you're having milk with things or yogurt or whatever for like breakfast, as an example, if you're like or your eggs borrowed from
the chicken, the local friendly chicken, yes,
your local friendly chicken, and then lunch, maybe you'll have. It again depends on your diet and all that kind of thing, but if you like your lentils or your chickpeas or your fish or your chicken or your whatever, right?
Sure.
Again, you're covering your base, and then you're probably likely to have it in your evening meal. Your spag bowl or whatever. Anyway,
you find a way.
I'm not going to keep naming meats and fishes and legumes.
Yeah,
I can.
And like vegetarian and vegan options often have supplemented proteins.
Yeah, exactly. And it'll
extra
be
stuff, and there are high protein foods that aren't animal based that you can turn the volume up with if you need a bit more.
Completely. And it's just a case of understand that if you are not a meat eater and if you don't eat fish, that you're just going to have more of your protein item, as it were, than someone who does eat that kind of thing, because it's naturally included, it's...
But this is diet in general, right?
Yeah.
That you have to look at what you're getting and where you're getting it from, whatever your diet is. I mean, if you're, a kind of person that just eats chips and pies and so on,
brown things,
you should look at where you're getting other things from, your micronutrients and other things, right? In the same way, if you're the kind of person who's not eating animal products, you do keep an eye on making sure that you're getting what you need from other things, you know, and it's all possible. And I think everyone should just be mindful of their diet. Yeah. Whatever approach you're taking to eating.
And whether or not that's exercise based or just general life based.
Or just general life based. Yeah, absolutely. In fact, when you said earlier, if you're not like a fitness person or you're doing fitness all the time, but as a normal person, it should be one of your top 3 things on your priority list, because it's your body and your health. Your diet is number 2, right? It's the other thing. It should just
it should always be something
something you think about.
Yeah. It should be something that just happens. It should be something that you are aware of. And and more to the point, if you're aware that you are not eating properly, do something about it.
Yeah, eat a rainbow.
Yeah.
I love that as a term. Eat a rainbow.
I love it.
Yeah.
Apart from the fact that it's, with a certain sweet, but, your salad rainbow and all that.
Yeah, no, I eat a salad rainbow, for
Love
sure.
a salad
I
rainbow.
apply that to, just the colour of my food. If I know that all the food I've eaten is beige today, I have not done a good job.
You're probably not great.
It's like a real easy...
And it's more of your digestion ain't going to make you feel great either.
It's a real easy rule of thumb, just like make sure you're eating all the colours,
and it
from
is,
plants.
Well, yeah, exactly. And it's just sort of, it's remembering the main things. You just go, okay, bit of carbs, bit of protein, as many vegetables as you can fit in around once you've put in your protein and your carbs, right? And your carbs can be, part of it's included in your vegetables, but you're sort of thinking about rices and pastas and sweet potato and all that kind of stuff that actually just takes a little bit longer to digest, which is why it makes you feel fuller for longer. It's like a difference between white rice and like multigrain brown rice and things like that. The reason why they say it keeps you fuller for longer if you're having multigrain and blah blah blah, because your body takes longer to digest it,
to figure it
it's
out,
like a magic difference, right? Sweet potato, a bit longer, and it's got your fibre in it, so it's good for your digestion, and it's sweet and it's nice, and you kind of go, ooh, trickery when I'm eating.
It's a wonderful treat.
But right. But then it's like white rice, you'd have that maybe like if you've just trained or just before you're training or whatever, as an example.
Okay, because you want to get it in quick because it breaks down quick. Fast, right?
Yeah, and so the sugars in it come out quickly and all that kind of stuff, and you use that energy fast. Whereas if you were eating and then you just wanted to stay full for a bit longer during the day.
Like lunchtime.
Lunch. Yeah, right. Like a more whole grain option or something, as an example.
That makes sense.
So you have that. You have your main points to include in your plate at each time you eat throughout the day. Just have a bit of protein. But again, doesn't mean that you have to carry around a steak in your pocket.
Because dogs will follow you home. Firstly,
probably not great. Not ideal.
I like Fran, but she smells like raw meat.
It's like, God, I wish she'd stop carrying around that steak in her pocket.
Wow. It's just offensive. All these vegans like are really angry with your
right.
steaky pocket.
Yeah,
just
right.
leak it.
Just on the tube.
What an image.
It's disgusting.
What a powerful image.
But yeah, so don't carry around steak in your pockets,
Yeah.
kids. Also, that will fall out on the treadmill. It will not feel great.
Slipping hazard.
Oh, gross. But yeah, so protein doesn't have to be as confusing as it seems. It's just because at the moment, with everyone thinking about fitness and with everyone being a lot more aware of how their body works and all that kind of thing. And again, whether or not that is from general life or the fact that social media is so crazy right now with everyone being a fitness fanatic.
It's in your face so much now,
Either way, it's just a case of just have a look at the packet, have a look at what you're actually looking at. If it's if you're the protein that's saying on there is like below 4 grams, then it's like, well, like seriously, get that neighborhood egg, because that's like at least 6 or 7.
You're right. Yeah.
Whereas some things that will say high in protein and it's between like 25, 30, something like that, that is good. So bear in mind, tuna is like between 25 and 30 grams of protein for like a tin. It's like 27 or something. But imagine that, and then you're like, okay, well, 3 in a bit of cereal is not high protein. You know, if you think about it like that, and it again, this is education, it's knowledge, it's sort of knowing.
You've got to basically pay a bit of attention to your diet, for you, for what you need. Think about it, make sure it's balanced. There's no quick way, there's no fad about it.
No.
Whole foods.
Yeah.
Look at what it is. Don't eat stuff that's
mix it up,
full of crap. Mix it up.
Yeah.
Eat a rainbow.
Have things every now and then.
Have fun with
it's
it.
Totally fine.
Yeah, have fun with it. Yeah.
Food is an incredible thing.
It's the best.
It can make you feel a certain way. There's something beautiful, but don't. Again, this is one of those things. Don't set yourself up for failure by saying I can only eat this, this, and this.
Yeah.
You know, it's like some people are fine with chicken, broccoli, whatever. Right?
Yeah.
It covers your bases. You've got the bits you need, done. Some people need variety. Some people want to have something that they've made themselves that's, you know, like a stir fry full of things.
Sure.
Or, you know, a lasagna or whatever, right? Like, you know, so many options. And those people that see food as something great and lovely and not just to power the body, right?
Yeah.
You're not going to be happy if someone said to you, if I'd ever said to you, oh, you can only eat this and this and
lean meats, steamed vegetables,
and that's it every day for every meal. Again,
or like you have
drop
to
a weight
live on,
or punch me in the face.
You have to live on Huel. You have 2 Huel shakes a day, and then you will have a lean chicken.
You would not feel good.
I know, right? See, this is where I'm at with
Gassy.
food. I think the less weird it is, the better.
Yeah.
The more it is what it looks like. It is a plant. It looks like a plant. Eat the plant. You know, that's where I'm at with food. I'm back to basics. Food person. That's kind of how I like it.
If you're eating something and cheese and wine
and cheese and wine.
cheese and wine. But if you're eating something you don't know what it is, right? I mean, apart from if you've like gone somewhere to a different country and it's a delicacy apparently, or things like that, right? That's the exception.
Cultural shift is acceptable,
because you know that happens. But essentially, eat whole foods, eat vegetables, eat things that are real things and not made out of chemicals and crap like that. And it's not molded out of a bit of pink random whatever that is, Play-Doh wrapped in breadcrumbs. Yeah, we're all gonna have a day. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, but where you've got to eat some crap and.
Sometimes you have to go a bit beige.
Yeah, sometimes you
need a beige.
You have a brown food day. I mean,
it's not ideal.
Don't string yourself up, but
just don't do it all the time.
Don't do it all the time. It's not going to serve you.
That's it.
100%.
That's it.
Well, thanks, Fran, for talking to us today.
You're welcome.
It's been insightful.
I'm glad.
I've enjoyed it. So, if someone wanted to find you on Instagram,
at puregrit.pt.
Puregrit.pt, and you are, available for sessions in London.
Sessions in London, yes. You can also see me at puregritpt.com. Yes. If you want to look at me doing some fun things, my Instagram is probably the best place. Also, all the leggings in the world.
I enjoy it for the leggings, and I enjoy it for the Fran is lifting something heavier than me today. Interesting. When you hang out with somebody, you think, God, my friend could throw me.
Yeah, I could.
We should do that sometime.
We
should go to a
human
place
hurling.
where one of those soft pit places, and you could just have a go at Kelly tossing. Well,
oh wow.
And that's how you know we've reached the end of the
podcast.
A
while there.
We've managed to get through a podcast about fitness without talking about pervert mittens, butt stretching.
Oh, Jesus. Hashtag things my PT says.
Yeah. We can save that for the next time we talk.
Oh my goodness, right. I cannot wait. Thank you so much.
Thank you.